What's up, guys? I am in sunny Orlando. As you can see, I have a little bit of a sunburn going on. Out here for some work, but I'm also here to see a movie. Didn't specifically come here to see a movie. Had I been home, I'd have seen the movie back there. But I'm not home, and I had to pay for my ticket, which is irritating because the closest AMC that I'm a member to was like 14 miles away. But instead, I get Epic Theaters. I don't know. It must be a chain down here. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. We're seeing X. X is a movie about a group of adult film stars that go to a cabin to shoot an adult movie. And then horror things start happening. And it's also a production of the production company A24. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with A24. I'm very interested to see this movie. I'm very excited about this movie. But I'm also excited to check out a new theater and a new theater chain called Epic Theaters. Let's go see this movie and talk about it afterwards.
One of the boys found this inside.
What do you think is on it?
I see one goddamn fucked up horror picture.
All right, I'll do the rest of this outside. I loved it. I just had to talk before I even got outside. Also, it's a beautiful theater. It really is. Comfortable seats, they recline. There were only like 3 or 4 people in here, so this was great. But I loved this movie. A24 has done it. They made a movie that I love. Love it. I love this movie. We'll do the rest of this in the parking lot. All right, guys, I made it back to my hotel room. I wanted to shoot in the theater parking lot, but there was a lot of people there. There was a lot of noise, and I didn't feel safe. And I came to the hotel parking lot, and it was dark, like very dimly lit, lots of trees. It's Orlando. I don't know. I've never been here before. So I made it to my hotel room. Sorry about the curtain background, but to be honest, guys, you don't care about the curtain background. You want to talk about X. So let's talk about X. X is a phenomenal horror movie. I loved it. I really did. I think this is one of my favorite movies I've seen so far this year. Granted, it's only towards the end of March, but yeah, I really liked this movie a lot. I enjoyed all of the actors and actresses in this movie. I think everybody had a very important role to play. There was nobody in this movie that didn't serve a purpose, and I appreciate that. Sometimes they go overkill in horror movies just so they can have brutal deaths. And there are brutal deaths in this movie, but again, the characters that take on those brutal deaths were used perfectly within the story itself. When it comes to the story, I don't want to spoil a lot for you guys. I will say it's a minor spoiler, tiniest spoiler ever, is that there's nothing supernatural about this movie, but that actually, to me, makes it scarier, because then you realize you're just dealing with crazy ass people in a very dark area, and the movie takes place in 1979, I think. I don't remember now. But in the 70s, so there's no cell phones, there's no telephone inside the house. I mean, there's not a lot of way to get to the outside for help. And again, all of those elements help to make this a really fun movie. When I originally saw the preview for this movie, I thought we were going to get more of a found footage film, and I'm really glad that we didn't. There are aspects of it that are shot in camera. Those are mostly the adult film portion of this movie. I can be honest with you guys, we'll talk about that part in a minute. The focus of this movie is not the adult film, and I don't even think it's the horror. It's almost a story about not being able to deal with getting old. Yeah, that's what I took away from this movie. Maybe other people are going to say other things, say, oh, I took away something completely different, and that's fine, because that's what film is all about. It's about taking something from the movie, and that's what I took from it. It's hard to deal with growing old. I mean, I turned 30 2 years ago now. I don't like to think about that, and I still don't like to think about that. When I think about the fact that I'm 31 right now, I think about like, no, I'm still in my 20s. Like that's what I think. And so there's a character in this movie that has a problem with aging, with getting older, and things that character does. Is the movie grotesque? Is it full of gore? Yes, and also yes. I mean, it's a group of adult filmmakers making an adult film, and then there's a murderer, we'll just say, and it's fun, but those elements are very raw and very real in the movie. The movie doesn't just have that, and that's what I like about it. It builds on tension. There's a scene with an alligator toward the beginning of the movie that I never would have thought would have been in this movie, and it's just the greatest tense scene. You're just sitting there like, I can't eat popcorn right now. I need to see what happens here. Like, I love movies that can do that to you. I love movies that excite you like that. And then I did like that later on, there's a pretty nasty alligator payoff. Overall, guys, I had a really fun time with this movie. Maybe on repeat viewings, I'll find some negative things that I don't like about it. But as of right now, I like just about everything I saw. The one aspect of this movie, the adult film aspect, the aspect of this movie that's going to maybe turn people off, I wonder if this movie had been released maybe, say, 10 years ago, if this movie wouldn't have even been allowed to go into theaters. I mean, it's crazy how our perception changes over time. I think about, like, when I was a teenager, if I told my parents, hey, I want to watch this movie, it's called Saw, and it's about a guy who murders people brutally, they probably wouldn't have liked it. But I would probably be able to see it. But this movie, there's no way. There's no way because of the content that it is. So for me personally, came out at a pretty great time in my life. I really enjoyed this movie. I think everybody that has a chance to go see it should see it, but those elements are there. So if that's not your kind of movie, I'll understand. And that's my movie review, guys. If you enjoyed this movie review, hit the like button. If you want to share this movie review with your friends, make sure to do that by hitting the share button. If you've seen X and you want to talk about it in the comment section down below, we'll do that. Let's go back and forth. I love talking with you guys. And finally, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do that because I got a lot of content coming your way. There's a lot of movies coming out in April. I cannot wait for April. It's just movie that I'm excited for. But I think before we get to that, there's The Lost City. And for some reason, I'm excited about that movie. I don't know why. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.